In this video, I want to talk about the EB-5 green card through investment in 2020 as we're heading towards 2021. Some of the changes, some of the things you need to know. This is an amazing program for somebody that can afford it and want to get their green card just like that. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello YouTube family. In this video, I want to talk about the EB-5 green card through investment. It's been a while since I've done a video on this particular program, and I wanted to give you some updates 2020 as we're heading to 2021. Before that, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to this channel, click this bell to be notified so you don't miss any of our video or our live videos that we do at least once a week. And also give us a big like so YouTube is going to be able to show this video to more people just like you. My name is Jacob Sapochnik, and I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based in San Diego, California, and we do a lot of these EB-5 and investment visas, and I'm happy to share my expertise with you in this video. But you have to remember that this video is provided for informational purposes only. EB-5 investments are highly at risk, and so it's important to consult with an immigration attorney, with your immigration attorney, or set up a consultation. So let's jump right in. So if you thought about getting a green card and you're here in the US on a non-immigrant visa, or you're overseas thinking about moving into the United States and you have some money to invest, the EB-5 could be the perfect program for you. Generally speaking, the EB-5 requires you to invest $1.8 million or $900,000 if you invest in a business in a rural with a high unemployment area, also known as targeted employment area, TEAs. If you make that investment and you qualify under requirements, as we're going to discuss later in this video, the government will issue you a green card. Typically, there's about 10,000 of those issued throughout the year. So why would you even apply for an EB-5? The main reason is that it's pretty fast to get a green card compared to all the other ways you can get a green card. Well, maybe aside from marriage. But aside from marriage, getting a green card through the EB-5 program is pretty quick. The downside though is that there are a lot of documents and a lot of forms and you have to prove a lot of things, specifically the source of the money. But if you do it right, it's a great way to get a green card and get a peace of mind that you're doing it the right way. So what are the steps to apply for an EB-5? And typically when we work with an EB-5, I break it down into two categories. There is the direct EB-5, where you invest in your own project. So let's say you want to start a hotel or a factory, you have to invest the funds into your own project. Or you can invest in a regional center. These are programs that got a certification or an approval from the government to be able to raise funds from EB-5 investors, and then they are the one who control the projects and meet all the requirements of the EB-5, and the investor, it has a passive role in that project. And this is the more common way for people to get EB-5, and that's the one that we usually recommend too for our investors. There are several steps that you have to follow in order to get an EB-5 green card approved. The first one is you have to find the appropriate project. So if you are doing a direct EB-5, you have to find and define what will be the project through a business plan, location, and all the necessary documents to make sure that your project qualifies under the EB-5 rules. The second thing is, when we're talking about the project, is that if you don't want to go and do your own project, you can go ahead and invest in a regional center. Under the EB-5 regional center, there are certain areas and projects that are approved as regional centers, and in those projects, investors can invest funds more like passive investors. Typically, those funds remain in the projects for a period of 5 to 6 years, and then at the end of the term where the investors get their green card, they're also able to get their funds back with a certain percentage of interest. So in a way, it's like the investors are loaning the money in exchange for a green card. So after you find the project, whether it's a direct investment or a regional center, you actually have to make the investment. So if you go with the regional center, they will tell you when to wire the funds. Typically you have to wire the entire amount, the entire $900,000, including their other fees, and then the attorney will file Form I-526, the petition for EB-5 with the government. The I-526 consists of a lot of documents. You need to prove the source of the funds, a business plan, if it's a regional center, all the documents of the regional center, showing the projects and the job creation. And typically, once the I-526 is processed, right now it's taking more than 10 months and sometimes longer for the 526 to be processed. Once it's approved, then the investor can move to the next step. Once the I-526 is approved, the investor can then file for their conditional green card. If they are in the United States, they can file for their adjustment of status, the investor and their families. If they're overseas, they can go through the consular processing, and then they get a conditional green card for 2 years. The next step is, once you have a conditional green card, is to file after 2 years for removal of conditions on Form I-829. The I-829 is typically filed 90 days before the conditional status of the immigrant investor ends, and it's really important to show that the funds are still in the project, the investor didn't do anything to change that, they didn't find any different things about the investor, or nothing has changed with the project, and if all goes well, the I-829 will be approved, and the investor and their family will get their 10-year green card. And this is in a nutshell how the EB-5 green card program works. It is really important to know that it is complex. Specifically, if you file directly for your own project, you really have to know, you have to have a comprehensive business plan to make sure you satisfy all the requirements of the job creation, the 10 jobs, and all the other things that the government requires. Otherwise, the case will take forever and eventually may be denied. If you go to the regional center, it is really important to choose a good regional center, do your research, talk to a professional financial advisor to make sure that you choose the right program, and then of course choose a good immigration attorney that knows EB-5 and can help you navigate that process. Many people ask, are regional centers safe and will I get my money back? Well, it's really important for you to do the research and work with a reputable regional center, programs that have done it years and years and return the money to investors, ask to speak to previous investors to see that it actually happened. And also typically the reputable regional centers will return the money within 5 years or so with a small interest, but they do return the money, and specifically the ones that have been around for more than 5-10 years. There are quite a few of those around, and it's easy to do the research, but diligence, and do not just rely on internet search to find a good regional. Many people ask about family members. When the individual investor invests the money, the family will also come with the investor. You don't need to file separate EB-5 applications. It's all under one application. It's just the adjustment of status will be for each individual family members. What is important to know is if your kids are under 21, you want to make sure that you file before they turn 21, otherwise they're going to be on their own. So that's why a lot of investors who are doing this for their children must be aware of the time limitations on the age out of the children. All in all, the EB-5 is a great program. If you find the right regional center and you have obviously the money to invest, it's a great way to get a green card fast without being involved in the project if you invest in the regional center. If you have any more questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Like I said, EB-5 visas are definitely in high demand right now. There are certain countries that obviously are capped, but all in all, there's enough visas to apply if you want to, and it's a great visa, and it's a great program if you're serious about getting your green card. Once again, if you have questions, let me know in the comments below. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can see more videos like that where I tell you about all these amazing visas that we have to be able to make your journey to the United States a little bit easier. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.